Hello. I have not made a video in a long ass freaking time, so yeah, I'm doing a kind of life update because it's my favorite thing to do. And the reason it looks so freaking dark is because the only light I have is my room light. It's like one of those yellow kitchen lights, and you can. It literally even looks like one. So I'm using like this little lamp. Yeah. Wait, that actually kind of. Okay, made it a little brighter. Anyways, update is I look like this and I sound like this now, and maybe I'm getting a little mustache. Yeah. If my skin looks a little rough, it's because this past weekend I went camping and it was super fun, but I got sunburnt because I decided to not bring any freaking sunscreen. So, yeah. Usually my face looks great. Not to be like, but I had really bad acne when I first got puberty, so I like made sure to fix that real quick and learn how to do that. So, anyways, yeah. My skin looks a lot better than it first did because I'm filming this on Friday and I got back from camping on Sunday. So, yeah. Anyways, life updates. Number 1, school. I am graduating from College of the Sequoias, a community college where I live, this semester. I just have to pass all my classes. I have one more final to do from last spring, which, because I got an incomplete in that class for not finishing the final. So, and the reason I was able to get an incomplete instead of failing the class, oh, my light turned off completely, is because I had doctor's notes for being trans, and I was on and off hormones, and they were putting me on different dosages, and same with my OCD meds. I went from 20 to 40 to 60 to 80 in less than 6 months. So it was a lot on me. Oh my god. Sorry. It's like acting up. Anyways. So yeah, I still have to do that final. But I'm graduating and I'm transferring to UC Santa Cruz, community studies major, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick with it because, to be honest, I'm already doubting it. But just ignore when the light turns off because it turns off anytime something like touches it or if it doesn't sense movement or whatever. Anyways, yeah. So, but I'm definitely going to UC Santa Cruz. I applied to 12 or 13 different colleges, CSUs, and UCs, and I think I got accepted to a majority of them. Ones I did not get into are UCLA because I applied for a design major, and then when I looked into it, I was like, this is not what I want to be doing, and so I didn't submit a portfolio or anything. So yeah. Plus, I was only applying to UCLA because I was curious about if I would get in anyway. So yeah. UCLA, I did not get in. I also did not get into... I feel like there was another one, but I honestly don't remember what it was. Yeah, but I did get into... I think I'm still waiting to hear back from UC San Diego. Yeah, I did get into... I think the most prestigious college I got into, or with the lowest acceptance rate, was UC Santa Barbara. Very cool. In the art program. Although I don't think they have a great art program, so... yeah, super cool. I still got in though. Yeah, so... And then I got into my other top schools, which were CSU's, San Francisco and San Jose. I applied to a lot. Yeah, but I'm proud of myself for getting into so many, and I'm proud of myself for being able to go to the school that I want to go to, which was UC Santa Cruz, and my best friend is there. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing with school. Next life update with my transition. I am going to be having my top surgery in July this summer. Scary, nervous, excited. I'm worried about having to make decisions. I don't know if I want like a really small chest or like no chest at all. You know what I mean? Like, what if I just want a reduction? Because I am two-spirit. I lean more trans mask, but I don't know. It's hard for me to figure out what internally is right for me sometimes when so much of society is against femininity. And I felt like because of that, I was like, I had a lot of internalized misogyny when I was younger as well, and that led to like insecurities in my body and stuff. And I've become more secure in my body, but I will never know how I'm gonna feel with a smaller chest, where I won't have to wear a binder, I won't even have to wear a bra or anything, versus like no chest at all, you know. What I figured is I'm gonna go for no chest and probably just get built and get pecs, and it'll be about the same. Or get fatter and it'll be about the same or something. Yeah. When it comes to the nipple situation, I was thinking no nipples, but now I'm thinking maybe I will have nipples. So yeah, but that's a big thing, is I'm getting my top surgery. When it comes to my hormones, they've been the same since like 7 or 8 months. I don't remember the last time I recorded an update, so, but yeah, they've been the same. Nothing really. I want to look into getting a hysterectomy because my biggest thing is I don't want to have a period and I don't want to take birth control either, right? So, but with my top surgery already coming up, I don't really want to have to deal with healing, you know, for both of those. But I do know that I could reach out to a surgeon already and just schedule my hysterectomy for later on, like in the winter or something, you know. So yeah, I'll have to look into that more. I just have been doing a lot since, you know, I'm full-time in school, and yeah. So career wise, I don't have a job. I'm making money from school. I quit my job at the community water center, a nonprofit I really loved working at. Got another job for a week with Act for Women and Girls. It was like a reproductive justice nonprofit, and that one I also loved. I quit after a week. I just couldn't do remote work. That one was remote. It was basically the same kind of work as at the community water center, except it was remote, and it was really awful on my body. And I couldn't find, you know, a good place to work at home since I moved back in with my parents. Yeah. We were living at the house that we were living at before for a while, and then January we moved into this house. So before I was literally sleeping in my parents, like on my parents' couch, but now I have my own room. My dad bought another house, so yeah. I think that leads to like the next category of family. I've been trying to connect more with my parents. Especially last year, I learned more about how, like, in our indigenous ancestors believed that if you heal, everything inside you heals as well. And your ancestors are always inside you. And your ancestors include people that are alive too, like my parents. If I heal from the trauma that they passed down to me, I'm healing their trauma in a way, you know? If I can heal our relationship with each other, maybe they can heal a little bit of their relationship with their parents, or, you know. So Yeah, I've been trying to do that with my parents. Today we had a deeper conversation on religion. And with my mom, I talked about having more intentional time together. Because I explained to her that sometimes I try to spend more time with her and it feels like she just brushes me off. Like, one time I asked her if we could make something together for my birthday. And she just went ahead and basically made it herself and then she gave it to me. And I was like, okay, feels like you don't want to spend time with me. And she's like, you should have told me that the reason you asked was so that we would spend time together and not the outcome, you know? So today we talked about intentionally spending time together. And yeah, honestly, my conversations with my parents lately have been going a lot better. Usually, when it comes to religion, when it comes to talking about our feelings about how we hurt each other or things like that, they would be very dismissive. I'm just like my parents. Some people who have been hurt by their parents would never be willing to admit it, but I am exactly like my parents. We are stubborn, and I think we're moving past it. So I'm happy with that. Creatively, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, I have felt blocked in a way. When I went camping, I went to the Two Spirit Xochipilli ceremony. It happens annually in Springville. It was amazing. Opened my eyes to a lot of things. I've been learning more about my ancestry. And so I'm definitely motivated to do more related to that. And it makes me crave that community that our ancestors had, where, you know, obviously I love school. I love learning. I want to get an education. I want to gain that power for my people. But at the same time, I wish it wasn't just school. I wish our schools taught us the medicine that our ancestors have. I wish our schools taught us danza, taught us, you know, shit like that. And maybe there are some schools that teach that. There are, I don't know. I don't foresee it being in my future, at least not through the schools that I'm going to. And I think that's been the hardest part about all this is trying to reconnect when everything is colonized. Yeah, so I think mentally I'm feeling that blockage, but I've honestly been a lot better. I'm off of my OCD meds after being on like 4 times the regular amount, and it was a good decision for me. I didn't feel any difference being on them, to be honest. And so going off, um, I I was scared. I mean, I was a little bit scared, but the ups and downs are honestly less intense and less frequent. So, and I think I'm doing that healing on my own, you know, because I'm not seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist or anything, but um yeah. What else? School, I've been stressed. I've been overworking myself a little bit. But considering the load I'm taking, I think I'm working exactly as much as I'm supposed to. I like did the calculations and I was like, dang, I shouldn't have done this. Because I found out I'm supposed to be working like 5 to 6 hours a day on top of my classes if I don't want to work weekends. So I was like, yeah. Anyways, that is, I think all the updates I have. Oh, I did, back to academics, I completely forgot about this. I did get a scholarship. And it wasn't a lot. I think it was a $500 scholarship from the Puente program at my community college. If you have a Puente program at your school, you should join it. If you're in high school and you're thinking about going to a community college, you should join the Puente program. It's for first gen, I think mostly Latino low income students. So, but I would definitely look into it. Yeah, that's all the updates I have. Everything's been amazing with my friends. Tomorrow I'm going hiking with Owen. And, oh yeah, actually, back to my health. I've been trying to work out more, at least every other day. And I time myself for 30 minutes. And I know a lot of people are like, dude, I do 2 hours at the gym daily. And I'm like, okay, that's you, that's not me. I have a really hard time finding the time to do this, especially when I feel like I need to shower after every single time. That's 2 hours of my time. If I'm doing the 2 hours that everybody else doing daily and I need to shower after, that's 3 hours of my time. And I'm a full-time student, so it is difficult. So 30 minutes is what I can do, 30 minutes is what I'm gonna do. And I've been feeling way better in my body. And what's weird is I used to eat a lot of junk food. Not just like eating out, but also, you know, like if I get bored or something, like I'm gonna go get myself some freaking pretzels. And pretzels aren't necessarily like junk food, like that bad for you, you know? But like I'm gonna go eat some freaking Takis right now. And like if someone offered me some, I'd be like, okay, yummy, like I'll eat it right now. But lately I've felt less of a need to do that. I've had issues with an eating disorder where like binge and purge, you know? And when I stopped purging, it's obviously just binging. And I've been able to combat that a bit, and not in an unhealthy way where I'm like, this is bad for you, or you're bad if you eat this. I've just felt like, oh, this isn't necessary. You know, like this isn't something I need right now. And I've kind of changed my mindset from like you know, food is something to enjoy and more to like food is fuel. And that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the food that I do eat. What it means is that like I have a habit tracker and I'm like, did I eat 3 meals today? And so my goal is like, okay, if I can wait till the next meal is, or I like, if I want to get a snack, I sit there and I actually think about like, am I hungry? Do I need this right now? No? Okay. If it's a snack and I'm like, no, I'm not hungry, but I really like this snack and I don't usually get a chance to eat this, I'm like, okay, I'll save it for my mealtime, you know? And sometimes, like, after eating my meal, I'm like, okay, I don't even want the snack right now. So I'll just, like, save it and save it and save it until there's room for it. And, you know, that makes me eat snacks less, I guess. So I think my main issue was snacking. Yeah. I haven't noticed, like, a great deal of, like, losing weight, but still, like, I feel better, I guess, you know? Yeah, not that snacking is bad or anything. It's just I was overdoing it. And with snacks that like didn't make me feel good, you know, like they hurt my stomach or you know, they made me feel sick or they made me feel bad about myself. And there's some thinking to be done about like why did I feel bad about myself for eating this and stuff. But a lot of the times it was connected to me knowing that I didn't need that, I guess. And I don't know. I could tell that it was the binging mentality of like wanting to hurt myself sometimes when I eat things that I know are bad for me. So, or not bad for me, but like that don't make me feel good. So, yeah, it's hard to explain without sounding so like snobbish. But yeah, I think that's like the only updates I have. Thank you for listening, and even have a good day or night or whenever you see this. Mwah.